Hey guys, I'm here to do my video on Music M, which is part of my Nano prompts system. Gonna make this video one of the shorter ones out of the ones I've been doing lately and get straight to it. The way I plan my music around noveling is, I guess I've broken it into a couple of parts. Ambience, and like dance, techno, etc., and then just like relaxing music, which can kind of go with ambience, and then my soundtrack. So basically, what I do is before Nano and during Nano, I compile 3 folders. So one of the folders is ambience and relaxation music. I mainly play that when my brain is overactive, it needs to just calm down. I just want to write, I just want to relax. You know, I'm writing a fairly kind of intimate scene or something like that, or I just want to write for a few hours and I don't really want to hear noise, especially when I'm sick as well, because I often get sick sometimes during Nano. And the last thing I want to hear is heavy metal or techno music. So I listen to ambient music. I also listen to ambient music when I am brainstorming as well, because if you listen to music with words when you're writing, sometimes those words, or especially if it's your favorite song, can get stuck in your head and you just start singing along, and then 2 hours have passed and you've only got 1 dot point, or you've only written a couple of words. So music can be a distraction. It also can be a really great thing to help you get pumped. So that kind of relaxation, Reiki and Reiki, Buddhist chants, stuff like that. I love that stuff when I'm doing Nano. And so I use it around those times. Now, during the night, once I hit about 11 o'clock at night, 10, because I'm old, around about 10, 11 o'clock, I start getting really tired. And if sometimes my brain's tired or my body's tired, but my brain's awake. So it's around those times when I know that I really want to get pumped and I really want to start writing, that I have a folder for techno, dance, something with a beat, dubstep, stuff like that, that I can listen to. And songs that I can listen to repetitively, which is quite bad, but I've been known in the past to listen to one song for 6 hours. I also like to download off YouTube. There's lots and lots of collaboration music, so kind of like electro house mixes and club mixes and coffee house mixes and stuff like that, that go on for about an hour, but they have several different songs in them. So I can stick one of those on. Sorry guys, I've got hiccups. Roll around, get on with my writing, and I can hear boom, 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 boom. And since they're so repetitive, and a lot of it's just like electrical music and things like that, for me, that gets my blood pumping. So I'm like, yeah, I'm writing. Yeah, I start doing that too, and my cat just thinks I'm weird. And then Daniel's like knocking on the door like 3 o'clock in the morning. He's like, can you freaking turn that down? I'm trying to sleep. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to write. So yeah, anyway, that's me. Until about, it depends, because last year I was like 12 o'clock at night, and I wrote until 6 o'clock and I had 10k. And I was listening to that kind of music. But then again, in between that period of time, I like to listen to songs that I love. So when I'm just sitting there, saying, yeah, I've got 2,000 words done, I feel like I need a break, I'm just going to go make myself a coffee, going to have something to eat, drink some water, go to the toilet. I'll put on one of my favorite songs that I know that I feel, that's going to make me feel good. I don't put anything depressing, because it's like, if I put on something depressing, it's going to make me want to go to bed and cry and say, why am I doing this to myself? So usually I listen to like a couple of songs during that time that I like, but I do not write during that time, because I end up singing along, like I said, or get distracted. And so that is a second folder, which is kind of like, once about 6 o'clock hits, kind of like, I feel like I've been in a dance club. I really do. I feel like, I've been pumped and I'm exhausted and I'm hungover, but really I've just been sitting at my computer for 6 hours, so I still feel satisfied. So, and the next folder, which I think is the last folder, is a soundtrack. I usually do this before Nano because I like to make a little soundtrack for my novel. I think everybody does. You know, there are songs that have inspired my novel or inspired characters. For instance, one of my series that I'm writing right now, one of my characters, Maresca, she was inspired by Kimbra. And if you guys have heard of Kimbra, you'll know the song Settle Down. And I listened to that song freaking ad nauseum when I heard it. It was like all I listened to, and it was definitely a soundtrack for my novel because after that, after listening to it so long and lying there and just making stories up in my head about this person, she came alive. You know, she's like, hey, this is who I am. Listen to this song and you will find out who I am. And she's not really American, but anyway. So, yeah, so I made soundtracks. When I wrote Stop a Bullet, this soundtrack is always constantly in motion. It has a lot of Black Like Burns, you know, used, My Chemical Romance, kind of that kind of grungy shit. Because when I wrote that, that was kind of the theme. That it was like that really angsty kind of theme. So I like to theme them as well. Like I like to, because I think visually, and I like when I listen to a song, say for what's the example? I don't think it's called Our City. I can't remember, but you know, like indie bands, those kind of really like relaxing, but they have a nice beat or they have something like a good melody. I'll sit there and I'll just like picture that as the starting of my novel. So I like to have like, you know, entering scene, closing scene, dramatic parts, fun parts, love parts, scenes. I kind of break my soundtracks up into that kind of theme. So that's how I do my music when I write Nano. So those are just a few ideas you guys can go along because everyone's going to be the same. Everybody's music is going to be different. But I do suggest that you listen to some music during Nano because if you're just sitting there writing away for 30 days with no sound, I think even if you don't listen to one song, you probably will go mad. I know I do. There are times when I will write and I will not listen to music because it's just too much, even ambient music. Especially if I've had a bad day too. I will just be like, no, I don't need any more distractions. I'm just going to sit here and write. And there's some days where I need that music to get me pumped, to get me thinking about my characters, to get me thinking about the situation. So, those are my ideas. Those are how I do it. You can take whatever you want from that, or you can share what your experiences have been in the past, or any things that you're planning on making for your music for Nano. And I will get back to you guys on the last two topics, which is today and stationery and sweets. I will be doing that on the weekend. So, yep. I hope that helped. Again, music is something I'm passionate about too. I'm guessing a lot of people are. So, yeah. Feedback, comments, whatever you like, leave them in the little thing below. And I shall get back to you guys soon. Bye.